everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today you join me out and about in London for a non-running video. So today I'm bringing you along an element of my day. I've been invited down by Hot Pod Yoga in Victoria for a photo shoot. So it's an hour and a half photo shoot in the pod. I love yoga, I love doing it every week. Something I do, something that I incorporate in my training. Something which I feel as if has helped my training for the past 18 months to 2 years. Definitely something which I highly recommend just for you to get to know your own body more than anything. And I think it's important that incorporating that 1 hour, it's just an hour a week. They asked me to come down, so I was more than happy to get involved and obviously get involved, and obviously you get a yoga class out of it as well. So the benefits of doing it inside of the heat is each pod is heated up to about 37 degrees. There's fans situated all inside of the pod, which is basically just an inflatable pod shape. I think that's the best thing. I'll put an image in on what it actually looks like over this, and I'm just walking past Buckingham Palace. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Slightly different to the ones we've put up before, but this gives you an insight into an element of my training which I do. At the end of the day, it's all about bringing you guys on board to give you an insight into how it is that I trained. My strength training video for this week, which hopefully I will be doing with Justin on Thursday, and then that will make a non-running training day. So some of the reasons why I practice yoga was mainly actually after the Berlin Marathon in 2017 when I got injured. It was just something I felt as if that movement and that flexibility and the ability to understand and know my body a little bit better would help me. So I've been doing it for just over 2 years now, and I think one of the number of reasons is, number one, injury prevention, just to get to know your body a little bit better and how you move. At the end of the day, I'm not one of these people that can do like headstands and crow poses, stuff off on your elbows and all that sort of stuff. I don't do yoga, I don't practice yoga for that, not at all. First thing to do is to drop the mindset of all yogis are the same, all people doing yoga are the same. No, I'm a runner, I do yoga because I want to understand and move my body better to become a better runner. Every element of my training is to become a stronger runner. So that's the biggest thing. So number one being injury prevention. Number two, I think it helps, and it does help, build a strong core, a strong upper body, strong legs, and also it helps to maintain that good posture, that good upright nature which you need for running. The classes that I do are just normally generic sort of dynamic flow classes. I do tend to prefer the classes which have the longer holds, most often because I tend to sort of do it maybe after a long run or even after a speed session. So number three, it helps to relax. It gives you an hour away from any social media, anything, your phone, just 1 hour, hour and a half, where you can basically zone out and give that time back to your body. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I enjoy about yoga and why I practice it and I get out of it more than anything. I feel as if my body moves and responds well to it, and I feel as if also that extra time of being away from the connected world helps in terms of helping me sleep better, helping me relax, and just basically putting myself in a really good headspace. So those are my three reasons why I incorporate yoga into my training. So this is actually my first venture into London. Quite a while actually. I'd say it's fairly quiet. I mean, it was announced that we would be going into a tier 3 lockdown, which is basically the highest of the tiers, meaning that most hospitality places close. It's basically a kick in the... It is what it is. You can only do your part, and hopefully collectively we can all do it all together, so fingers crossed. But biggest thing is to stay healthy and to stay safe. So the shoot is done. No, it was good fun, fun class. Last one you can actually do now for a while because we're now moving to tier 3, so that sucks. But I'm just gonna walk back now and grab some lunch and then head back home. So the class itself, what I find in terms of benefits towards running is that I don't feel as if it fatigues my body in any sort of way, not at all. Just as an extra way for me to stretch out the body and to hold poses just for a little bit longer, and just to iron out any creaks and cranks in the body which can occur from running. I mean, I don't have the most flexible body in the world. Hamstrings are pretty much shot, but that's okay. I learn and make do with the body that I have, and so does everyone else in that pod and everyone else who practices yoga. So to keep the body mobile, I think that's what I've learned in the last couple of years more than anything, is the mobility that it does give the body. I do a routine every single morning without fail for about 10-15 minutes. A lot of people do it. It's just a bit of flexibility work, just to move the body, get some blood flowing. I can't just go jump out of bed as much as I'd love to, as much as I would want to, jump out of bed and go straight run and go and do a speed run. It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. The older you get, the more care, love you need to give your body. So the body needs a lot more TLC, and I'm an advocate for that. It's a great way for injury prevention, it's a great way to keep yourself active, it's a great way to keep you doing what you love to do, and that is to keep running. So yoga along with strength training, I'll take you along for one of our sessions that I have with Justin. I'll be able to show you what we do on our weekly session together. So I'm walking back home, ready to get on with some work for the rest of the day. Not running today, running Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and obviously for the rest of the week. I just moved my sessions today because of the photo shoot. I had a rest day for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, or a day where I haven't run. So just give the body a day off, which is good because resting is training. I'm very much an active sort of rest day person. Go out for walks. I've walked a lot today anyway, so I've been on my feet for most of the morning. Hey guys, it's Thursday evening. I am just heading to train with Justin at the gym in Shoreditch. I ran a tempo session earlier, which was pretty ace. I am now going to do strength and conditioning, but I'll drop in the run this morning that I did, which was really good. So I feel as if I'm ready to tackle a 5 or 10k. We'll see what we can do maybe over the Christmas break. But yeah, feeling good, pushing that lactate threshold. And now we're going to take you on board to what we do in the gym, film some exercises, and obviously how that translates into becoming a better, more efficient runner. So this is the space where we train. It's a private gym, so right now in these times it's pretty good that we can just train together. So just going into the warm-up, getting that nice big rotation. I train with Justin one-to-one every week. He's a personal trainer and was also my running coach, so I gain a lot of insight from him. So start of the session is just to get that body nice and loose, get it nice and limbered, getting those legs warm, getting the body warm, getting the rotations in, so we are ready to lift a little bit of weight and get a bit of resistance. Just moving into this, just getting a bit of more movement into the legs, nice sort of bouncing along the spot, and then we walk straight into doing a front squat. I always prefer to have the bar along my shoulders with my hands out in front. Just seems to be a little bit better for me in terms of positioning and also a bit of grip as well. So just to get the body nice and warm, just with a little bit of light weight, nothing too crazy, and then sort of rack it back up and then put a bit more weight on. With this one, Justin's always looking over in terms of my form and how I'm sort of moving through each rep and set. Just make sure that I'm actually, my feet are on the ground, body's moving in a nice straight line, and obviously I'm protecting my lower back, which is obviously the key thing whenever you're squatting. This is just for a bit more power, this is just for a little bit more building those quads and obviously the glutes and hamstrings as well at the same time. But the front squat is pretty good for me. I do enjoy it. It's tough, it's not hard doing it with a mask on, not gonna lie, but it's something that I do enjoy and does benefit my running and obviously my efficiency as well. This is just a straight deadlift, trying to keep the bar as close as possible to my feet and knees and making sure that I'm hinging from the back. Do have to make sure that my back is nice and flat with those shoulders squeezed at the same time. But yeah, this is starting off this set with it's not too heavy. It's not too, I don't find it too heavy. And obviously we're just adding a little bit more weight and ensuring that those feet are on the ground, that I'm hinging nicely from the hips and driving that hip forward, and obviously squeezing the glutes when you hit to the top. So this is probably one of my favorite exercises. I do feel like it does add a lot of strength and power to my glutes, and obviously to the rest of the system, not keeping those hamstrings stronger, especially since the injury as well. This is now moving into some upper body routines, just to keep those shoulders. Obviously, as a runner, you need to keep them nice, upright, and have that core nice and strong, and make sure you are driving your body forward, and obviously uniformly with your legs as well. So obviously, don't neglect the upper body. And this is just shoulder shrugs to keep the body, to cover the shoulders as well. And obviously, this is to using TRX straps and just bringing that body and those arms, similar to how we would drive your arms when you're running. The arms are so important in terms of keeping you going forward, and obviously with your momentum, and if you have lazy arms, tends to translate to the rest of your body. Good. Obviously with the bar here, we're just moving slightly overhead,
up to 8 here.
just making sure that there's no weight on the bar, just to ensure that we are pushing something overhead as well.
Two more, mate.
With these jumps, again, all about landing.
Good.
Starting off with the right foot, moving on to the left foot, ensuring that we are positioning our weight. And obviously running is a single leg sport. It is a single leg sport. We spend a lot of time on one leg. It is essentially going from one leg to another. So it's important that we incorporate some jumps, bounding, and a lot of single leg work into the routine. And then we're moving on to a hip hike, which is we do on the edge of the treadmill, just to ensure that the leg that's not dropping is slightly bent, and then you are hiking your hip up and down as you sort of bring yourself. This is a real good set, so we do a couple of sets of these on each side, making sure that you do attack that glute med, which is probably one of the laziest parts of the glutes, and I tend to sort of put my hand on that glute to ensure that it is switching on as I sort of hit the top of the hike, which is something I have to always maintain. But this is a really good routine. We started doing this for like 6 or 7 weeks now, especially since we were able to train again in the gym. And then sort of just finishing off the routine with a tiny bit of core work, just pushing as the paddle press it out in front, and then 6 or 7 times, and then holding out on the 7th for 7 seconds or so. And that is pretty much the routine in the gym. So I realised I never actually closed the video when I was out and about yesterday. I was probably just too tired from the session yesterday, especially with the run and also with the training in the evening. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an insight into what sort of goes into my running. Effectively, like I said earlier on, is everything is revolved around making me a better runner, to cover the ground more effectively and more efficiently. More than anything, I think in doing so, I've incorporated many things over the years, but things that have actually stayed and got better and evolved as the time has gone on is obviously practicing yoga, and obviously the strength and conditioning. Obviously with the strength and conditioning, the sessions do change week on week depending on how I'm feeling, and obviously how I report back to Justin. So a big thank you for Justin for capturing some of the sessions so I can bring it to you guys and obviously show you what sort of goes into the element of training in the gym. But I want to say thank you for watching, thank you for sharing and subscribing, and if you haven't done so, please do so now. Really appreciate everyone who's sort of sending me feedback on the videos. Loads more videos coming up, so make sure you do check them out. But in the meantime, I'll let you go. Enjoy the weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.